Blog Talk Radio.
If only the whole show was as good as that song, the opening music. I love it! Recruiting Animal here, everybody, on August 8th, 2018. That's 8/8/18. How do you like that? 888. Listen, I want to tell you something today. It's very interesting, too. I discovered it on Facebook this week. There's a lot of recruiters who think that God helps them make placements. Yeah, they said so. So it got me wondering, how exactly does he help them, you know? Maybe when you make a cold call and the candidate would not normally want to talk with you, God makes him decide to hear what you have to say. He doesn't make him take the job, okay? But he makes him listen. And I'm going to tell you, there's precedence in the Bible for you to believe that. After a few plagues, listen to this. After a few plagues, Pharaoh was ready to give in to Moses, right? But God didn't think he'd suffered enough for oppressing the Israelites. So God hardened his heart. And if you can harden someone's heart, you can probably loosen it up a bit if you want to. And you know what? Yeah, this probably works especially well with referrals. You ask somebody if he knows anybody who might be interested or qualified for that job. You know, normally he's going to lie and tell you, no, I've been in the business 20 years. I don't know anybody, right? But then God steps in and makes him tell you the truth and give you a few names. But there's one problem with this whole thing. Different people believe in different gods. So if I tell you that God is helping me and you don't believe that my God even exists, you're going to say, no, he isn't. It's just a placebo effect. You're going to tell me, you think your God is helping you, and that gives you more confidence, and that makes you a better recruiter, but he's not really helping you. But you know what? I think that's a good result, too. And I think this is a topic that should be discussed at conferences. Sometimes people ask me to come and lead a track at a conference, one of these little tutorials, and I always say no because I don't know anything. But I would lead this if anybody's interested. God in recruiting, hey. But I can't promise that I'm going to give you any good advice today about it on Jerry. Jerry, what show is this?
The Recruiting Animal Show.
And I want to thank my sponsors, Martin Snyder, the boss at PC Recruiter, the Swiss Army knife of recruiting software. That's because it does everything, just like a Swiss Army knife. Nin Tran, the CEO, COO, not the CEO, the COO of Hire Jewel, HIRETUAL, the super duper sourcing tool, and Nick Livingston, the CEO. This guy is the CEO of Honeit, HONEIT, the online interview technology. And you know what? That was a nice shout by Jerry, but it was recorded. He's not here. Didn't tell me he's not coming. I don't know if he's on vacation. I'm going to stop paying this guy soon, okay? Because he just never comes. And when he's here, half the time he never says anything, okay? I'll introduce the guest. Guest told me before the show he's not singing. Huh? What kind of guest is that? Matt James Gibbs. M-A-T, this is his Twitter name, M-A-T-T James, G-I-B-B-S. He's in San Francisco, I think, but he's originally from Australia, and maybe he's part of the Bee Gees. Are you related to those guys, Matt?
No, I'm not. I've got an S at the end of my surname. So I'm one degree removed.
Well, no, I thought maybe you just added the S, so, you know, because you look like the handsome ones. Andy died, right? And Barry, that's the, I don't know, there's two good twins. They're not very good looking. But anyway, because I put up that picture of you and your wife, I assume. You look like models. Anyway, We'll move on.
It's one of the 1 out of 1,000 that actually looks okay. So my wife.
Well, I know that's not true because I saw another picture, but that one's especially good. Anyway, you are a agency recruiter, and you're the co-founder of a company called Recruiterly. Okay, and I'm going to ask you to tell us about that in a minute. Is there anything else though that I should use as an intro? Something I should say about you?
I mean, we own and operate a recruitment agency as well. We own that and operate that in Hong Kong.
Didn't I just say that? Oh, your agency's in
Hong Kong? You said I was a recruiter. Yeah, I don't think you said that, unless I'm missing something. Recruiter, I've worked in the UK, I've worked in Australia, I've worked in obviously Hong Kong, and we've got an agency there, and obviously Recruiterly is a US-based business.
Okay, so when was the last time you worked as a recruiter? You've actually made a placement or tried to?
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay, so you're a recruiter. I'm right. Don't argue with me. Let's get the show on the road. Look, you're very big on branding. People are going to hear a lot about that, I assume, on the show, although I don't consider it a particularly great topic. You do. Okay, so I was wondering, do you check, if you have a candidate, do you check the candidate's social media imprint before you move ahead with him or her? Like, will you go to the candidate's Facebook page and look for problematic pictures and postings? Yes or no?
Typically no, but that's based purely on the industry that I recruit into.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, the industries I recruit into are typically heavy industry. So let's just say that type of candidate typically isn't prevalent on social media. Maybe it has a simple basic profile on Facebook, but we've tried that route. But if you're looking for a big burly sort of miner or someone who runs a mining operation, they're not typically too involved with social media.
Hypothetically, I'll give you the example that was on Jerry's group where I read this. If you have a candidate, you go to her Facebook page, and there's a picture of herself wearing a vagina hat and carrying a sign that says "Fuck Trump." Are you going to tell her to take that down?
Yes.
Yeah? Anybody else want to talk about that? Lots of people here. Maybe Jim Durbin.
Hey, Paul here. Does it really go away even if they take it down?
Yeah, sure. Sure it does. Yeah.
Okay. For the average person.
For me, yeah, typically it does. I mean, there are caches or caches, whatever you want to say, that capture a lot of this information. And if it's gone from Facebook and it's gone somewhere else, then yeah, it can still be found on the internet. But I think as a recruiter, if I've got my recruiter hat on, you've got to obviously make candidates aware that it's not just us that would look at their social profiles. It's also the employer.
Yeah. Look, I got to tell you something. I listen to your other podcast. You're too wordy, okay? Just get to the point here. Don't make a speech. Say yes or no. I would take it down. I would tell her to take it down, even though if I think it's funny, But I would probably say, look, you might want to take that down. Anybody else? Anybody else want to actually say they would tell the candidate to take it down? Jerry showed up. Jerry, would you tell her to take it down? Or would you refuse to work with her? Okay, he's not even answering. Nobody's answering. It's a funny one. It's an easy one. Okay, if you have...
Well, you've never admitted if you would. What recruiter admitted if you would?
I admit it. Take
I know,
it
but
down.
you're an honest
Don't be a
person
fool.
in Canada.
Okay. Look. What about clients? Since you're still a recruiter, do you ever have clients who don't pay you on time? Matt James Gibbs.
Yeah. Of course. I think it's a good phenomenon. Yes. Short answer. Yes.
What's your standard payment rate? Time. 30 days after the start date.
30 days after the start date is pretty standard for us. We'll try and obviously negotiate that down depending on what we need. But yeah.
Okay. So if 45 days have gone by, what do you do?
We've learned the hard way that we chase immediately. So we'll send letters and so on as soon as the payment is late by 1 day.
By 1 day, you'll send a letter. What, an email or a lawyer's letter? What are you talking about?
No. So first there'll be a follow-up from ourselves, making them aware that obviously the payment's late, and then 14 days or 21 days after that, we'll probably have 2 or 3 follow-up emails, maybe a phone call. And if there's
hold on. Let me wait a second.
Illegal.
Wait. Why don't you just get on the phone right away? Why leave it passive? You send an email hoping they'll see it. They could say, "I didn't see that email." But if you get them on the phone, they can't say we didn't talk. Why don't you just go straight to the phone?
Hey, this is William Tincup, and you should know about the You Should Know podcast. It's a topical, fun podcast with Ryan, myself, and a guest, or guests, plural sometimes, and we tackle the most timely topics of the day. Give it a look, give it a listen, and subscribe. Thanks.
Oh, we do both.
No, you didn't say that. You said, I send a few emails
did say
first,
that.
then I phone them. Okay, so
emails and phone.
Okay, so day 31 comes and you get on the phone. Is that what you said?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. And who do you call? The person you were dealing with, or accounts payable? What's the story there?
Always the hiring manager, or the person with the authority to pay the invoice.
And what do you say?
Your payment's late. Is there a reason?
I like to get the exact words. I got to tell you, you've got a problem. You're going to have a problem when we start talking about your articles. I read a ton of articles by you, and there's not one concrete example in any of them. So on this show, that's what we insist on. If I say, what do you say to the guy? Don't speak in general terms. Say, these are the words I use, so someone who's listening to the show can go away and use those words themselves. Okay? What do you say? Come on. I'm asking you again.
Okay. I'll try and give you something verbatim without being too wordy. So, Mr. Hiring Manager, I notice you haven't made payment. Is there a reason? Is there an issue? Is there something that we can discuss? Something simple. It doesn't need to be formal. It's just a casual chat. You should already have a good relationship with that hiring manager.
And what do they usually say?
Oversight, typically. I'll chase it up with accounts. I mean, that's pretty much 90% of the responses.
60 days go by. You haven't got it yet. What happens?
By 60 days, we'd probably be sending a letter of demand. If we've got no intent from them, and it's clear that they're looking to not pay, then we'll send a letter of demand.
Okay, well, you don't know. They might say, okay, does anybody else want to address this? Anybody else? Nobody? Not one person? No one's ever had late payment and wants to tell us how they deal with it? Paul Lippman, are you still here?
Hey, Animal, it's Rich Rosen.
Go ahead.
Hey, so honestly, we don't get too many that are late, but when we do, if they're 60 days late and they're not responding to email with anything concrete, Massachusetts and most states have a similar law called 93A for unfair and deceptive business practices. Usually you just let them know, hey, listen, this is going to, send them a note to the CFO, CEO, HR, everyone that's involved. Say, listen, can't understand why this isn't getting paid. We did our job, blah, blah, blah. This is going to court. Once it goes to my lawyer, it would just go into court. It's 93A. It's triple damages in Massachusetts plus legal fees.
Okay, but hold on. Isn't the whole issue? I don't want to. Isn't the whole issue though? You want to make another placement with this company. You don't want to alienate them.
I don't care if they're going to screw me or pay me late. I could give a shit if I do work with them again or not.
Okay, well,
I did a contingent search.
What if they want to pay you in 90 days? I mean, you're still going to get
paid. That's
paid.
Great. And they should have signed the contract that says pay in 90 days. Not a contract that says pay me at offer or pay me in 30 days.
Jim Durbin, final word. Do you have an opinion? Still here?
I never had a problem with it when I was independent. I only had problems with it when I was working for a staffing firm. So it's been so long I can't remember.
Do you want to say anything about what Jim hasn't called in for a while? You want to say anything about your current life or update us or just pass on that?
No, I just wanted to listen to you guys. Although I will tell you, I'm a thin 215 pounds, just so you know.
Oh, great. I did.
I'm just bragging on it.
I met you quite a while ago. I thought you looked pretty good at the time, so maybe you put on some weight.
I'm even thinner than I was back then. So just just want people to know it's possible.
Congratulations. Any special regime that you're following that you want to share very quickly?
Just exercise and good food.
Okay.
No, I think a lot of bacon fat. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now look, back to you, Matt. Matt, you with me?
Yeah,
Matt. Okay. Do you know
Yeah.
Jeff? Do you know who Jeff Bezos is?
Isn't he that guy that runs that shopping e-commerce
Yeah,
site called
that's
Amazon?
him. He runs Amazon. He says that before you hire somebody, you have to ask yourself, will I admire this person? Do I admire this person? Do you think that's fair, or it's setting the bar a little too high? Would you tell a hiring manager to keep that in mind when he or she was considering your candidate? Do I admire this person?
I don't think hiring managers should settle. I think they should hire the person they believe is the best person for that role or for that company. For sure.
That's not an answer. You're dodging the question. I asked a specific thing, okay? Do you admire him? So you didn't say no. Admire. Admire is a specific word. Let's move on. Next question. You said there's so many rec-to-rec agencies out there. These are recruiting agencies that recruit recruiters. And you say there's so many of them, it's a proof that recruiters are no good at hiring recruiters. They have to go and get an agency to do it for them. Are you going to stand by that on this show?
I absolutely, 100%. Recruiters are typically not very good at hiring their own recruiting staff. But that's
Why
a
not?
sales industry issue.
That's just math and all of our history, though.
What do you mean? I'm lost. Come on. What do you mean, Jim?
Our turnover rates are like 200% in the staffing world. The whole point of the MRI thing was to hire 5 people so one would stay after a year. We've never been good at this.
Okay, so you're saying
but the question is,
yeah, go ahead, Paul.
The question you were asking, though, Animal, this is Paul, is using an agency to find the people, not necessarily to hire the people. It's to find them. I mean, there's a difference. You're hiring your own people.
Okay, yeah, don't play with words. I just scolded the guest for doing that, okay?
I'm not playing with words.
You're using an agency.
Think the question is, no, here's the question. The question is, the real question is that are recruiting agencies terrible at going out and finding good recruiting candidates? And if it's not their niche, then and it's somebody else's niche, then you should put your money where your mouth is and use an agency. It's kind of stupid not to. Then
I think Jim's answer was better. You got to hire so many recruiters just to get one who stays that you need help because it's just too much work. Okay, that's his answer. Matt James Gibbs, what's your answer? Why are recruiters bad at recruiting other recruiters?
The niche thing.
Yeah, it is the niche thing. I mean, I think that's a good point. And also, where's the validation? Where's the proof, right? You're hiring someone, salespeople are good at selling, right? So they're good at selling themselves in the interview, but where's the validation? Where's the proof in terms of is that person any good? Sales in any industry is hard to find. Hard to find and hire that rock star salesperson.
Yeah, that's a non-answer. Michael G. Cox, you said you want to say something, did you?
Well, sorry, I mumbled something there. It's just, I think it is a niche thing because if you ask me to go do some technical recruiting, I'm going to do pretty horribly and possibly end up recommending that, like what Jim said, hire 5 and hopefully one works because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I don't need to go out and hire somebody to do sales recruiting for me because that's what I've been doing forever and a day.
Okay,
so,
nobody had a good answer. I'm going to go with Jim's answer. I like that
is a good answer. You might not have liked it, but that's okay.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm going to do an ad, and then we're going to talk about Recruiterly, okay? But you got to think about how to present Recruiterly in a way that we're going to be interested in it, okay? So you think about that, Matt. But right now I'm going to talk about PC Recruiter. Hey, everybody, Recruiting Animal here for PC Recruiter. You know what? There's all kinds of recruiters. Some recruiters are doing direct hire. Others are doing staffing. And some are doing executive search. And you know what? Some people say that all these recruiters need their own special software directed at their niche. But you know what? PC Recruiter doesn't say that. No. And I'm going to tell you why. Because PC Recruiter is configurable. They don't impose one format on you. They don't impose a specific structure on you. You make the software do what you want it to. Okay? And if, you're the kind of person who says, just like Michael G. Cox said, I'm not technical. I can't configure anything. Don't worry about it. They got a team that wants to help you, okay? They'll help you. Doesn't matter if you're with a big agency or a small team, if you're in your basement like we talked about last week, working on your own, they love you. If you're a recruiter, PC Recruiter loves you, and they say big or small, we help them all. So go check out PCRecruiter.net, PCRecruiter.net. Back to Matt James Gibbs. He's going to tell us all about his new company, Recruiterly.com. What is it? And I got to tell you something here. You know, I just feel like criticizing you, Matt. You seem like a nice guy, but I'm very aggressive today. You said something. Here's what he says about his company. Go divide this sentence into 3 parts, okay? Recruiterly is a community-driven, industry-specific digital ecosystem that helps both individual recruiters and companies to build their brand in a way that differentiates them as experts in their given markets thanks to these 3 primary facets. That's too much! It's a mouthful! I don't like it! I get 10 words in, I can't remember what went already, and I got 50 words more to get through in 1 sentence. Go change that! Now tell us what it is. I don't understand.
Well, in its simplest form, it's a better way for candidates and clients to find and connect with recruiters. And we do that by helping recruiters to actually differentiate themselves. You know, there's a myriad of tools we've built, but I won't go into those because it gets too wordy. But effectively, how does anyone right now, today, unless you've got a prior relationship, find an expert recruiter that you know is an expert in your niche? And Recruiterly does that. Recruiterly helps recruiters stand out. It's corporate, it's agency. If you're a recruiter, you can use the platform.
Okay, so if you're Jerry, he was here a little while ago. He disappeared, I guess, too busy. Okay, but he's an IT contract recruiter. Okay, and he's very good at what he does. He's a friendly guy. He likes to visit people and have a few beers with them. How would he use Recruiterly? Would he put up?
Jerry would.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Jerry jumps on, creates his profile or microsite, whatever you want to call it, and you start to add in your placement history. We then capture ratings and reviews, so people can validate how good you are as a recruiter. But you can use the branding tools and the reputation management tools and the social media tools to basically, use content marketing. Build your audience.
Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. You're talking too fast with an accent. Give me a break. So what does he do? Put a profile up there, and then it's like Glassdoor? People come and rate him? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you said?
People can, yes, but the model's a bit different to Glassdoor. So it's candidates and clients that you've actually worked with that will rate you. So we want to celebrate success. We don't want to, have the Glassdoor effect.
So it's not honest. It's not 100% honest, in other words. It's only good ratings. Is that right? If someone doesn't like Jerry, if someone doesn't like Jerry, you said you're not going to let a comment go up there. Is that what you said?
No. So bad ratings still happen, but we want those to be used in a better way. So the mission behind Recruiterly is to improve the industry. I mean, I'm tired. I'm a very, very good recruiter at what I do, and I'm tired of battling the stigma of all recruiters are bad, right? Because someone's had one bad experience. So at an organizational level, you want to see the bad ratings that your recruiters are getting, or at an individual level, you want to know where a relationship's gone wrong. All right, so those bad reviews still come into the system, and it gives you an opportunity to speak to the candidate or the client and go, hey, what went wrong? Okay, and we've got analytics that we're building in that will allow company management to look at performance at a branch level and at a per recruiter level. To go, well, where's the candidate experience? Where's the client experience? What's happening? So that's inside the system. The mission is to improve the industry, and we can do that by raising the standards through training and coaching development.
Sorry, you know what? I lost you 2 minutes ago. It was my fault. I wasn't paying close attention. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so hold on. Let's get back. Can somebody help me? Michael G. Cox, Jim, Paul, somebody. What's he talking about? Does anybody know? Is it just me?
I don't know. He lost me at hello. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. So no clue. You put up a profile. You put up a profile for your company. Is yes or no, Matt?
Yeah.
You put up your recruiting firm. Okay. So you tell what your specialty is, right? And you describe your firm. hopefully with shorter sentences than you use to describe that site. Now, then people can comment. Your clients and candidates, they can comment on your profile. Is that right? Am I right about that?
They can comment on they can give you ratings and reviews, and they can engage with you with your content that you produce. Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
So somebody who's looking to hire a recruiter, they can actually go there and talk to you about what you do. Is that right?
The profile clearly articulates with analytics what you do, where your specialties are, and then we validate that with placements. Now, the user scenario for Jerry, very simple user scenario. Let's say, for example, someone's launching a new business in his specific geography, right? They need an IT contract recruiter. They can search for an IT contract recruiter in that specific area. And then we provide the results to the best recruiters in that area. They can connect with them.
Okay.
How does the prospective client know that Recruiterly exists?
Well, that's our job.
Like, how would an organization know to go there to find a recruiter? Or why would they go there to find a recruiter?
Well, there's some interesting. We did some deep dive on some natural just Google stats, right? I think it's something in the order of 140,000 plus searches per month for recruiters in the US. So people are searching for recruiters, but there's nothing that's being served. All you find is, the big box brands that are advertising. So the platform is built to be search engine friendly. So for new clients that are searching on Google, they will find your profile. They'll find your profile because you're pushing content out. You'll push content out via social media channels. And then we will do our job in driving clients, or prospective clients and candidates, to you as a recruiter. So if we've got 50 recruiters in IT in Atlanta, our job is to drive interest to those 50 recruiters.
Okay, hold on a second. Michael G. Cox, did he answer your question?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what he said? Can you tell me? And Michael G. Cox, speak louder. Can you talk into your phone? Here's what I think he said. They get you doing all kinds of social media so your company gets a good SEO, a good ranking on Google, or Recruiterly itself has good SEO. So if someone's searching for an IT contract recruiter in Fort Wayne, Indiana, then Jerry's going to come up near the top of a Google search, either on his own or through the Recruiterly site. Is that what you're saying, Matt James Gibbs?
That is one way that clients will find. It's not the only way, but it is one way that Recruiterly will benefit a recruiter.
So you've got good SEO. That's one of the things that you offer. Is that right?
Well, the platform has good SEO, but then the individual profiles will have good SEO because they're relevant. Google wants relevancy in their searches. So it's relevant.
Okay.
So they'll find you.
So what's this whole stuff? You're always talking, what is this blogging and all this stuff? Is the blogging going to take place on your site? Is that it? This brand building takes place on Recruiterly?
Correct.
Okay, it's a nice and short answer, but so you've got the platform for that as well. Is there anything else that we should know?
Yeah, well, look, the user decides how much content they want to push. It's a microsite for you as an independent or an individual recruiter that may work for a big brand. If you want to add videos about maybe a Monday morning vacancy you picked up or your latest, greatest candidate, all of this will be can exist on your unique profile. And that stays with you forever, right? There's a really good scenario here where maybe as a recruiter 3 years in, they want to change company. If they change company, they lose all of that track record, all of that brand. But we solve that problem. So, we just want to help recruiters to stand out. That's one side of it. We're about to deploy a marketplace. So that marketplace will specifically qualify inbound leads that we will send through to recruiters. So that's a massive value add that we know is in demand. Most of the recruiters on the platform have requested that feature. So we're building that. We've got job boards coming.
Wait.
Yeah.
What's that feature? You come with the candidates and you send them out to the recruiters? Is that what you're saying?
Candidates and clients, correct.
Well, how do you get them?
We market. As I said,
so you're doing the lead gen. You're doing the lead gen
for recruiters. Correct.
Okay. Well, couldn't you just say it? Couldn't you just say it so I'd understand it?
I love that you just used the word lead gen, Animal. That's amazing.
Why?
It's only taken like 15 years to get people to the point of saying things like lead gen. What's the opposite of lead gen?
there an opposite? No clients.
Demand generation.
Oh, okay. You're too smart, but he's into that as well. That's with all the blogging, right?
Correct.
And pipelines. He believes in pipelines too. But I don't know. Does Recruiterly help people have pipelines that they can pump out information to on a regular basis? Matt?
Yep. All you do is upload whatever information you want on your profile, and we have a scheduler which we built for free. So you set when you want, posts to go out to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. So you can basically push all of your content across your key social channels.
Okay.
I mean, we all know that works, right? So it's a free tool that comes with the profile.
Okay. And what about this lead gen? If they give you a candidate, how do they pay for it? Or, I mean, if you give them a candidate, if you give someone or they place it. Go ahead.
Yeah, only on success. So there's only on the success. If we give you a client and you make a placement, we give you a candidate and you make a placement, as long as we are the ones that have qualified that candidate and they come through our system, then you pay us upon success. If they've reached out to you via your social channels because of the activity you're doing, then that's your candidate. You manage that candidate. We don't want to.
Okay. No, we're talking about your special lead gen business. Jim, is there anything else we should talk about on the demand gen side? That's the hip thing these days.
Do you understand what he's doing? He's basically saying it's like think of it as a mini LinkedIn just for recruiters. If I go to LinkedIn, I can't tell if anybody's any good. So he's coalescing it, same way the job boards used to. But instead of just saying, here's a resume, he's saying, here's what this recruiter is good at, and you can fish in our pond and pay us if you find somebody.
What if I told you that your boss skydives, Tim in marketing is a magician, and Sam in accounting does sums in his head while standing on his hands? Seeing sides of the people you work with but never see, sides that inform and inspire their work and that can inspire yours, is what The Talent Show is all about. Email me, Tom Alexander, host of The Talent Show, at talentshow@backboneinc.com, and show us what you got. I look forward to seeing you on The Talent Show.
Okay, no, the clients don't pay. The clients don't pay, do they? Matt James.
Clients don't pay. Clients or candidates do not pay us. The recruiter will pay if we've given you someone that you can make a placement with.
Okay, but what's the basic rate for just using Recruiterly as your multimedia SEO, search engine optimized? Essentially website. What are you paying for that on a monthly basis?
It's free. So there's tiered.
Free.
It's a premium model. So the basic profile is free. You can create a profile. You can build your profile up. You can add content, share it through social media. All of those tools are free. If you want additional branding, then you upgrade, and it's $39 a month or it's $69 depending on the tier. So it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to use it and improve your profile.
Okay. Now one more thing. Okay, you said that an individual recruiter, even if he or she is working for another recruiting firm, they can create their own profile. Is that what are you selling to companies or individual recruiters within those companies, or both?
Both, and including corporate recruiters too. It's for the individual recruiter to build their profile, but they can be part of a larger organization. And there's one tool which we haven't discussed. If you are part of a large organization, you all get connected to your own private community. So when you log in, you can see all of the activity from all of the other recruiters in your own specific company.
Okay, you mean what postings they've put up and stuff like that? I mean, what's there to see?
Yeah, so if, for example, you get a lead in, let's say you get a candidate, that'll go to your private feed, and then other recruiters in that organization might have a candidate to share with you, or they might have a client that might need that candidate. So the issue with communication intra and inter recruitment companies, I've experienced it everywhere I've worked. So we've built a collaborative sort of social feed. When you join, Matt Gibbs Recruiting, if there's 20 staff, then they'll all be part of that private feed.
Okay, I don't know what the advantage is, but I'm going to do another ad. But you specifically say, excuse me, on Twitter, I got a quote for a week and a half already. You say scaling a recruitment company is difficult. They can be super profitable under 10 employees, but growing past 10 is challenging. Okay, I'd like you to expand on that after I do this ad for my good friends at Hire Tool. I say Hire Tool. They say Hire Tool. Here's how you spell it, Hiretual. But I'm sure you know that already because it's the most popular, most famous, super-duper sourcing tool in the world today. Here's how it works if you've been in a cave, in Thailand or somewhere, and you don't know how, you've never read about it or heard about it. You go to HireTool.com. You put your search requirements in ordinary English. You don't have to know Boolean. They build the string for you automatically, and then they search a whole pile of websites like GitHub, like LinkedIn, like Facebook, and then they return the results in a ranked list from the top to the bottom, the people who are closest to what you're looking for. But they also guess which people are ready to make a move. They guess what salary people are earning. I don't know how they do it, and actually I don't even know how accurate it is, but I know they guess those things. So go check it out. And there's one more thing. They're very good at providing contact information, both for work and personal email and phone numbers. People rave about it, and you can check that out for free. Go to HireTool, HireTool.com, get their Chrome extension, and try it out. Now we're going back to my good friend, my good new Australian-American friend, Matt James Gibbs. And I got to tell you, everybody, I could promote this guy's website better than he can, okay? He uses too many words. He's not direct. He doesn't just give you a list. This is what it does, 5 things. These are them, and then expand on it later. He starts going off on, details that it's more than a man like me can process at one time. Maybe geniuses like Michael G. Cox or Jim Durbin or Paul Lippman can handle it, or Rich the moneymaker, but not me, okay? You have to dumb it down. I don't think all the recruiters are smart like them. They're more like me. Okay, Matt, back to you. What about building a big recruiting company? What's wrong with that? Why is that so hard? And why do you claim it's easy to build a small firm?
Overhead. Simple. So if you've got 3 or 4 staff, typically you're all going to be very good. You know each other. You know they're good. You're making placements. No one's off the tools. Even the company leadership is on the tools. You get to sort of 10 plus. You've got to manage staff. You've got to do the hire 5. Only one works out. Overhead is a massive issue when you get post 10. Once you get up to 30, 40, 50, you can again have a very profitable business. But there's that medium section which is difficult.
So so scaling is just the money. It's just capitalizing it. That's all you meant. Is that right? That's the main thing. Is that right?
No, not really. Not really. I mean, recruitment businesses, especially permanent recruitment businesses, are very cash flow positive typically. The issue is overheads. That's the main issue. So when you're 4 people, everyone's on the tools, everyone's billing. When you get to 10 plus, company leadership has to spend time focusing on building the company. You're losing billing consultants. It's an overhead issue. It's as simple as that.
I don't understand. I'm moving on. I don't understand. The role of the phone in recruiting, you say that pounding the phones is not scalable. Recruiters need to be proactive, providing great content and nurturing the person-to-person communications. Where is it? Somewhere you said 14 years ago when you started as a recruiter, you made 40 calls in the morning and 40 calls in the afternoon, and that's not the future of recruiting. You think that's stupid now. Am I right about that?
Well, it's not efficient, is it?
Well, yes, it is. To me, it is. What's wrong with it?
Well, I would rather make 3 phone calls to highly qualified leads that have come through to you rather than spending 40 cold calls. Yeah, you can still make money by making 40 calls, but you can only make so many calls per day.
Yeah. How are you going to get those 3 qualified leads just waiting for you to call them and pluck them from the tree? Tell me. Come on.
Well, if you're standing out as a top recruiter, naturally top candidates are going to want to work with the best recruiter. Right? So that's one way. But the system itself qualifies inbound leads. We've got a specific wizard that will do that for us that we're building out. And look, I can show it to you in action.
I didn't ask you for an ad for Recruiterly. I said, how do I get those 3? Just in general. Tell me, you didn't say, you're talking so fast about we got a system with it. That's not getting the message across. I want to know how you do it, how you get those 3 hot leads, so you don't have to call a bunch of people. And then if then if Recruiterly helps me do that, you could explain it. Just tell me, if I don't have to make 40 or 80 calls. I only have to make 3. How does that work?
Okay, I'll simplify it. My personal example, right?
Hold on a second. Does anybody agree? Wait. Michael G. Cox, are you still on the call? Michael.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Does this guy talk too fast?
No.
Oh, yes, he does. Go ahead.
He
okay.
does.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
yes.
he does.
Okay.
I can't understand what he's saying. Go ahead. Tell
All
me
right,
how you get those.
I'll slow it down.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. So I do a lot of work on LinkedIn, right? And I have candidates approaching me because they see me as an industry professional. They see me as someone who talks about the industry.
How does that happen?
They approach me on LinkedIn.
Branding.
How do you brand yourself? Be detailed. Tell me exactly what you're doing.
Do you remember when I called
talk
myself
about
the
the
social media headhunter?
Hold
That was
on
branding.
a second.
No one.
Okay, Jim, if you want to answer for him, Jim, go ahead, but just one at a time.
It's just basic. It's basic branding. By calling myself the social media headhunter, people assumed I had an expertise in it. I might have been nothing. Remember when I did the CNC stuff? I called myself a CNC recruiter. They wouldn't know because all they see is some basics. So we say big company name, or they assume that you have that expertise, more likely to talk to you if they've seen it online.
How did you get your brand out there so everybody in the industry knew that you were the CNC headhunter? Or come on.
This is where it gets dirty. I spent 10 years learning how to do it, and then I knew how to fake it whenever I needed something. That's the problem with this, is the idea that somehow you could just step in. It's the same thing with calls. If you didn't make 40 calls in the morning, you can't hire a 23-year-old and expect them to have the quality that any of your senior recruiters have. And by saying we don't need to make phone calls anymore, we are eating our seed corn. We're not training people on the things that need to be done, which is why there's a massive, massive loss for young recruiters right now. They think they can make 10 calls a day and be successful, and that's never been the case.
Okay, so you think that Matt is misleading young people after he's had the advantage of old school. He's leading them down a path of folly. Okay,
well,
let's switch.
He's not hiring entry-level recruiters. It's not his job to train them. So
yes,
he wants to hire people.
He owns a recruiting firm. He owns a recruiting firm. Okay, let's go to the guest. Okay, Jim.
The only way you're good at that.
Go ahead.
The only way you're
Finish
good
off.
at those 3 calls that are very important, or because you've done the 40 calls previous to that.
Oh boy, we're really going after this guy. That's Michael G. Cox on my side for once. Okay, Matt James.
I agree.
Gibbs. You agree?
Yeah. No, I don't agree.
I agree.
If you've got a junior making 40 calls, how much damage does that do to your brand as a recruitment company if they're making the wrong calls? The training has to happen, but you need to be more targeted with the work that you do. You need to be more efficient. So no, I don't believe you should be just pounding the phones, making 100 cold calls, 80 cold calls a day. I think there needs to be training and coaching, and I've always trained my consultants to make phone calls. I mean, it's a key part of the job, but I don't believe you should blindly call 40 people. It needs to be targeted, relevant.
Okay, hold on a second.
Nobody said blindly cold calling anybody.
What?
Nobody said blindly cold call.
Look,
Okay.
developing your own personal brand. It's all about developing your own personal brand, however you do it, and you have to come across as the subject matter expert and the person that they're going to go to and answer to you. And the only way you can do that is either through cold calling and sounding like an expert and being that expert, or by doing the other thing, or a combination of which is emailing and branding yourself. People are the ones you're trying to go after are not looking for the
I'm not a mind reader. What's that other thing? You said making a bunch of calls, or that other thing? What's that other thing?
Or doing your branding via internet. I mean, look, I do a 2.5-prong approach because I've never made cold calls in 20 years of doing this, and I probably suffer for it a little bit. But I do a lot of branding through internet, through using LinkedIn and reaching out to people, and also via email. And then I get more calls.
You said I do branding, but you never say how. How are you doing your branding? Are you writing articles?
I reach
what are you doing?
No, that's bullshit. Excuse me. writing articles and sounding like it's bullshit. You got to be able to help people, and they got to think, hey, how can this person help me? And I tell them, here's who I am, and I'm constantly reaching out. I'm not going to tell you how I do it specifically because I don't want to give away my secret sauce, but I'm constantly reaching out to people on LinkedIn and just building my network and saying, hey, this is what I do. Look at my profile, and when you're ready to make a move, let's talk. Boom! I get probably 15 people.
Paul, this is Paul, right? Paul, that's the exact same thing as making a phone call. There's no difference, okay? That's cold calling.
Right, but the point he's making, and I agree with it, is nobody's returning phone calls anymore.
Yeah, he didn't say that, okay? Hold on. We're going to go Matt James Gibbs.
Yep.
That's your Twitter name. See, one name's not enough. He's got to have three. Okay, so how do you do your branding?
Like a serial killer.
How do you do your branding, Matt? What is it that you do that makes people know you so you only have to make 3 calls? Go ahead. Now's your chance.
Well, you have to raise your industry profile, right? So you can share industry-relevant content to your audience. Add some of the people.
No. Remember, slow down. How?
Okay. You might want to find industry-relevant blogs or articles, and you might want to share those on LinkedIn with your audience, and you might want to engage with your audience on LinkedIn or other social channels. I mean, typical brand building. I mean,
how do you engage?
I've just told you how to engage. You know, find a group, talk with people, post an article, encourage comments, engage with people in those comments. You just need to build your profile in your relevant industry, and they're warming up leads. That's effectively all you're doing with brand building. I mean, you can't create a brand overnight. Yes, you can change your statement on what you are on LinkedIn, but if you warm up your leads as the industry expert, they're going to be far more receptive when you cold email them or when you cold call.
How long does that take? How long?
How long is a piece of string? It's an impossible question to answer.
No, you gave a specific thing. I don't have to make 40 calls. I can just make 3. How long does it take to develop, that kind of expertise in your niche where you know exactly who to call and they know who you are? They're waiting for you to call. You can't give it 6 months, 3 days. I don't know. What is it? You think it over.
To start,
okay.
if we take a step back, now I didn't say that you only make 3 calls. I just said I would rather make 3 phone calls than make 40 calls.
Oh, don't play games with me. You said make 3
That's what
calls.
I said.
I got to do an ad.
Well,
I got to do an ad.
That's all I do
Look,
now.
you know why? Because I'm wasting good airtime trying to wrangle a straight answer out of you. Don't make me do that, okay? I'm going to do an ad right now.
Sure.
Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here. Are you excited? I am, okay? The show's exciting. This guy's got to answer the questions, but let me move on, okay? I'm just confused. Recruiting Animal here for Hone It, HONEIT. Hone It. What is it? It's phone interview technology. I'm going to tell you how it works. The candidate and recruiter dial into an interview just with their regular phone, okay? It's very easy. They have the regular interview on the phone, but here's the thing. It's recorded. So you come out with an audio recording that's automatically turned into a transcript that you can search for keywords and read it. Okay, so you don't have to worry. This is the most important thing. You don't have to worry about taking notes fast enough or typing fast enough or missing some detail. It's all there for you. Okay, this is a robot, a machine doing some good work for you. And then it makes it really easy to share that information with anybody else involved in the hiring of this candidate. Here's something else. There's certain questions that are more important than others. When you come to that question in the interview, you press a button, you talk about it. When you're finished talking about it, you press another button. That part of the conversation is separated as an individual clip. And you send those to the hiring manager and you say, hey, this key question, it's right here. This other key question, right here. They can dive right in and hear what the candidate has to say without any mediation from you. Okay? And so that's essentially it. So I want you to go check it out at HoneIt, HoneIt.com. HoneIt.com, the phone interview technology. Okay, back to Matt James Gibbs. He's dodging the question, how long does it take for me to build a brand? Okay, now where did we leave him? First he said, I'd rather make 3 calls, but then he says he didn't really say you only have to make 3 calls. Okay, clear that up for me, please, Matt.
Well, I was just clearing up what I actually said. And what I said was, instead of making the 40 cold calls, I would rather make 3 highly qualified phone calls. Let me break something down to you. I was just thinking about this while you're doing that ad. So let's say I build my brand. I've got 40,000 followers on Twitter or LinkedIn. If I then post a job ad or I post a request for a candidate, I can reach 40,000 people with that post. That's the point about brand building.
No,
that's
you
how you
can't.
scale businesses.
No, you can't. I've got 25,000 followers on Twitter. If I ask a question, I don't get an answer, and I'll tell you why. Because if you've got a large number of followers or connections, that's not the real number. Half of those guys have disappeared. Okay, they don't have any kind. They've abandoned their accounts or they're not paying any attention. And then the others, they just don't see. They don't see what you're putting out there. 40,000, you're lucky if it really turns into a few hundred who are actually paying attention to you. But you continue. That's just my interjection. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's dependent on the brand as well. Not everyone wants to engage with every brand. And I think that's the decision you make in terms of the brand you build for yourself. Yours is unique, Michael. Maybe not everyone wants to engage with your brand. I get answers to my questions on Twitter. I put up polls and I get, I think I had something in the order of 960 plus responses to a poll that I put
But you
up
think
recently.
you're better than me, eh? Well, you're not. I don't believe it. Go ahead. Well, maybe I can learn something from you. Okay, let me calm down. No, go ahead. Okay, so here you are. Sorry, I interrupted. I said, please explain this thing with the 3 calls, and then I interrupted. Finish off what you were saying. Okay, sorry.
I believe I've answered the question. I would rather make 3 highly qualified phone calls, which is typically how I run my business now because I'm running 2 different companies. I will make highly qualified targeted calls that will give me an outcome. I'd much rather do that than 40 cold calls. I'm not saying there's not a need for training when you're a young recruiter, but there's also damage to a brand when a recruiter makes a bad phone call to a senior
Okay, but how
manager.
did we get to, sorry, I know I'm screwing it up myself. How did we get to those 3 calls? I'm lost.
Well, if you build it's just that 101 recruiting. If you know your niche, you know the calls to make. It's simple. I don't understand what you don't understand.
But how did you come to know those calls? By talking to people on the comments on
research,
LinkedIn?
Talking, referrals, research, building your brand, inbound leads, getting referrals from people you know in the industry. Lots of typical stuff you do as a recruiter, but you're better off warming up the work that you do and becoming a little bit more efficient.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
What time did you get up today? What time did you get up today?
5:30.
5:30. When did you go to bed last night? I'm wondering what a successful man, what kind of regimen he keeps for his day. When did you go to bed? 10 o'clock?
11:30.
11:30, and you got up at 5:30. Good for you. Okay. And what time did you start work?
Oh, by 5:45. Enough time to grab myself a coffee.
Do you think it's important to get up early? This 6 o'clock club kind of thing? I don't. I don't think it's important.
Oh, look, not everyone's a morning person. It works for me. I get more done. I've got some quiet time. There's no distractions. It works for me. It won't work for everyone. Some people prefer to work late. It's totally
Are you an extrovert? Are you an extrovert?
No, introvert.
Okay, so an extroversion is not the key to being a good recruiter. You don't have to be really talkative or anything like that. You don't have to be outgoing.
Well, I'm an introvert, but I'm able to talk on the phone. I'm able to build relationships. Just because you're an introvert doesn't mean you aren't able to do the job of a recruiter, if that's what you're alluding to.
Okay, yeah, I guess I was. So you just like being by yourself, ideally, but you're willing to talk to people if you have to. Is that what you're saying?
Well, introversion versus extroversion. Extroverts get their energy from engaging with lots of people. Introverts need time away.
Yeah, okay, I don't need fine. I'm just trying to find out some, fun ways to, close off the show. What should we talk about? Is there something that that most recruiters don't, or that you talk to a lot of recruiters? What do you want to tell me?
Are you an HR or talent leader trying to figure out how to have the biggest impact on your business and your people? Listen, you're busier than ever, but you're also under more pressure than ever before. The We're Only Human podcast has been running for over 10 years, helping leaders get a handle on these topics. I'm Ben Eubanks, the host of the show, and I started my career as an HR practitioner and executive. Now I run a research firm dedicated to exploring the trends affecting work and the workplace. We cover research from a practical lens, technology changes, compelling case studies, and more, so that you can get back to work and have the impact you've always wanted to. And we do it with some fun. Check out the We're Only Human podcast today.
I think the biggest challenge from speaking to recruiters is just the recruiters that hate fighting the stigma, right? And I think that's an important thing that we're trying to tackle. There's everyone on this that's listening in and talking on this podcast is a professional, right? And they're probably very, very good at what they do. So why battle against the year one recruiter that works for a massive big box brand? I hate the stigma. It frustrates me. I'm very good at what I do, so I don't want to have to fight that anymore. And we want to raise the standard of the industry.
Let me just I'm going to make this the final question. You've been talking about building your brand and saying that you're sort of a know-it-all in the industry, so that people trust you and etc. But I've talked to lots of recruiters on my Facebook group, and they say, they're quite willing to take searches that they don't know anything about, and they've done it many times. They just get on the phone or on an email with somebody that they're trying to recruit, and they say, look, I got to be honest with you, I don't know anything. Can you tell me if you're good for this job? Can you educate me a bit? They say it works. That's the exact opposite of what you've been telling me. Is that right or wrong?
I don't think that's got anything to do with what I'm telling you. That's just recruiters taking unspecified jobs from clients and then not knowing anything about their niche. I don't think it's got anything to do with what I'm saying.
They say it works. You don't have to build your brand. You can recruit good people without knowing anything. Mind you, you won't get people coming to you. You have to go out to reach out to them.
Yeah, but give me a metric in terms of how long those recruiters stay successful, how long they stay in the industry. Do they burn out?
I got to tell you, the people who tell me they do that are very successful, at least some of them. Anybody want to come in on that one? Am I all on my own when I know that I'm talking about something lots of recruiters do? Am I by myself on this? Okay. Yeah, I am.
I would never tell.
But I'm on the elliptical.
I would never train a recruiter to
get mad at me.
Pardon, Jim. Jim will get the last word. What were you saying, Jim?
I said I would talk about it, but I'm on the elliptical, and I don't want you to get mad at me for voice quality.
I could hear everything you say today. Make the last statement. Talk about that, and we'll close it off.
You're talking about the difference between tactics and strategy. Having a niche is great. Your SAP or if you're digital marketing or a specific kind of accounting, until that niche goes away or other people flood it. So it's not a universal. It's what works today. 6 months, 6 years from now, and are you an owner or an individual trying to make money? If I make $300 in a year, I'm pretty okay if I don't do it the same niche next year.
Okay, so then you might have to switch your niche, and so on the one hand, you can build your identity in a certain market, but you have to be versatile and be willing to go out and start again and tell people you don't know anything in this market yet, but you're willing to learn. Is that what you're telling us, Jim?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Last word. Thank you very much, Jim. I want to thank Michael G. Cox, Paul Lipman. Those are always great guys to have on the show. And Matt James Gibbs, the co-founder of Recruiterly. That's Recruiterly.com. Anything else you want to say about that, Matt?
All good. I've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun.
I have too. Recruiterly. Matt James, thank you.
Okay, but the show itself,
same old thing.
As a recruiter, there's nothing I'm going to now take to my desk, and I am in a state of constant listening, learning, and applying. That's my thing. I got nothing from this show. I'm not going to do anything.
I disagree with that. Okay, good for you. That's unacceptable. Okay, good for you. I disagree with that.
I just wrote a post for Animal saying boycott Animal's radio show until he stops criticizing job seekers.
Ooh.
But Animal says that his show is not about criticism, that it's about spiritual liberation.
It is.
Oh,